Hello and welcome to today's reflection. Today we are going to look at Psalm 143. Psalm 143 is the psalm set in today's lectionary reading for morning prayer. And it's a psalm that is 12 verses long. I'm not going to read it all, but I would really encourage you, if you have opportunity sometime today or in the future, to sit down and just spend time with this psalm and ask God to speak to you through it as you read it, perhaps. Take the opportunity to see what it is that God might be saying to you. But I'm going to read a few verses from Psalm 143 and just offer some ideas that perhaps we might like to reflect on and things that we might like to think about as a result of what it says. So the Psalms are like a hymn book, perhaps. They're full of poetry and hymns that have been written before Jesus' time as a way to praise God and to hold thoughts and feelings before God. And I wonder if perhaps some of these things might be speaking to us today and resonate with us today. So I like the way the psalm starts. So Psalm 143 verse 1. It says, "Hear my prayer, O Lord. Give ear to my supplications in your faithfulness. Answer me in your righteousness." I love that idea that we can come before God with our supplications, that we can come before him knowing that he will hear us, and in anticipation of an answer. We're not sure what the answer will be or how it will look, but that we don't have a distant God, but that we have a God that is nearby and encourages us to come to him and to tell him of the things that are causing us anxiety or worry. I love also, if we look further on, if we look at verse 6, it says, "I stretch my hands to you. My soul thirsts for you like a parched land. Answer me quickly, O Lord, my spirit fails. Do not hide your face from me, or I should be like those who go down to the pit." And I wonder when it was that you last felt that your soul was reaching for God, that your soul was thirsting like a parched land. I think maybe there are some times in our faith journey where we feel that we are very much connected to God, and other times where we can perhaps ask God to just renew us and rekindle in us this fire and this passion that perhaps we need for him. And the idea that God needs to respond, but needs to respond quickly. My spirit fails, it says, do not hide your face from me. There is a real honesty in that, a real acknowledgement that perhaps we are fickle human beings, have been for centuries and generations beyond generations, and we need God to respond and help us and encourage us in our faith journey. In verse 8 it says, "Let me hear of your steadfast love in the morning, for in you I put my trust. Teach me the way I should go, for to you I lift up my soul." This desire, this importance of that renewal of faith and that renewal of understanding of the love of God every morning. Teach me the way I should go, for to you I lift up my soul. That whole idea that God has a purpose and a plan for us, but we need to connect with him so that we can experience that and grow in that and know where it is that God is leading us. And then just right at the end of the psalm, it says, in verse 11, "For your name's sake, O Lord, preserve my life. In your righteousness, bring me out of trouble. In your steadfast love, cut off my enemies and destroy all my adversaries, for I am your servant." Sometimes I think that when I read about enemies and adversaries in the Psalms especially, I think of a physical enemy. I'm thinking of wartime and perhaps very old-fashioned battles. But I think sometimes the enemies and the adversaries are within ourselves. So I love the fact that in verse 12 it says, "In your steadfast love, cut off my enemies." It's only through God that we are able to perhaps quieten some of the negative thoughts and the negative ways in which we feel or think or work or our actions. It's only through God's love that we are able to really conquer these and put them to one side. And I think sometimes we need to own up to these enemies and adversaries that go round and round our head. And just that final 4 or 5 words, for I am your servant, that supplication and that subordinance and that acknowledgement that God is in control. It's only through his love that we are able to put aside all these negative thoughts and feelings so that we are able to do what God has planned for us to do. So my prayer for us today is just take this opportunity to perhaps sit down and have a look at Psalm 143 and just pray it through and see where God might be leading you. Amen.